One time, this next song was the biggest selling jazz song of all time. I think it still might be. And it's one of my favorite guitarists. So you'll know this right away. Thank you. That was Breathin' by George Benson. Now we're going to do a song that's not by George Benson. This song is called, this is actually, I looked down at the sheet, like I need to look at the sheet. This one, actually, no. This song was written for, you guys know my son, you guys are friends. So my son, they had a baby after he got married to my daughter-in-law, Lizzie, who love her to death. And so their baby is named Dawson, and he turns 4 next week. So, and so when he was 2 years old, I used to play this, just sitting like on the couch. They live in Alabama, but I would be sitting on the couch, and whenever I played it, he'd start dancing. And just 2 years old, he would just dance. So I'm like, oh, he likes it, so maybe it's a song we should do. So, so it went on the album, and he actually introduces it on the album. It starts out, he says, "This is Dawson's dance," as a 2-year-old, so it's much cuter than the way I sound. So, and so this song's called Dawson's Dance. And this, remember earlier I said my favorite song? I was just kidding. This is my favorite song right here. Thank you. Usually when we play that, my wife will video it and then she'll send it to them. So, and then they play it for him right before bedtime every night. There's also a song on the same album called Dawson's Lullaby, of course. And then on the first album, there's a song called Devin's Lullaby. That's my oldest son. So when I was in Los Angeles trying to find a way to play guitar for a living, when he was born, it hit me that like it took me a long time to realize this. It hit me that that's not why you're playing music. You're playing music because of how it makes you feel, not how if you make money. That's not important. It's about do you feel it, and did God give you the ability to appreciate music, and it means something to you. So I started playing next to his crib when Devin, he's 33 now, but when he was little, and then I would just sit and play. This is what I used to play. So there's a whole lullaby, but this is the lullaby played literally every night of his life. So I'd sit in his crib and play it. Then when he got older, I still sat, probably until he was 13 years old. Still every night, went into his bedroom, sat on the edge of his bed, played that over and over and over. Then he had a brother, so I wrote a song called Dylan's Lullaby, of course. And then same thing. That's a Dylan's lullaby. And then, so I again played that while he's 8 years behind my oldest son. And then Jordan was born. So then there's a song, it's not called Jordan's Lullaby, it's called Jordan Cares. Because when I was injured and not able to walk real well, he's the one that always stayed behind, took care of me. So I wrote it called Jordan Cares. And now Jordan's 23 years old, I think. Yeah, not I think, he's 23. His birthday was last week. So all my kids, and then Julie has, like everybody in my family has a song. So honestly, we're on Facebook under Danny Davis Jr. There's also websites, Danny Davis Jr. Project. But so if anybody wants a song for anything, let me know. I honestly, I love doing it. Like, I'm not just saying it. It gives me an excuse to play something meaningful. And it takes me 3 minutes. Like, it doesn't take long. It's because when you're playing for something, it just comes out super easy, very easily. So if anybody, like, hey, whatever, let me know. Or like, hey, I just bought a new truck. Give me a truck song. Like, it could be anything. Doesn't matter what it is. So now we're gonna do a song, a Beatles song. I had to say that because it's not on the list next, so I gotta give them time. So this is a Beatles song. It's my favorite Beatles song, and when we play it, it sounds nothing like the Beatles version. But it's cool anyway, thanks to Paul McCartney. So again, this old Beatles song, not the new stuff they're putting out today. This is an old Beatles song. Thank you. Now we're going to do a song. Okay, this song I like a lot too. This is called, yeah, I'm not going to lie, but I really like this song. It's called,
What's it called?
do you know how hard it is to name instrumental songs? It's so hard, at least for me. Maybe you guys could do it really easily. I cannot. So I usually, if I think of a name, I'll just say it into my phone. I'll text myself and just say it. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, oh, so this song actually came easily because I was trying to do a certain feel and trying to have meaning to this song. So hopefully when I play it, it sounds like the name of the song. So this song is called Gospel Response. So you guys remember Mike, Dave, Tim, Danny. We don't know your names. So on three, everybody just say their name so we can learn who you guys are. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Got it. I'm going to test Mike later. We'll start in the front row, Mike. Everybody's going to go. First seat. Okay, so this song is called King George. It has nothing to do with England. This is a song, kind of my tribute to George Benson. So it's called King George. And next song has a story, like every song. This one has a real story. This is the next song. I used to play with a guy named Norman Brown. He's a really top Grammy, multi-Grammy award winning guitar player. And he's been around for a long time. But I used to take lessons from him in Los Angeles. And then because of the friendship with Norman, then I ended up playing keyboards for him. Because he definitely doesn't need me to play guitar. so I played keyboards for him. And then his first, the demo that he did for Motown Records, he was the first artist signed to Mojazz. He was the first artist. And at least I think he was. But anyway, so Norman went on, he's had 20 albums. He just had an album out a couple weeks ago. And I think he's the biggest selling smooth jazz artist ever when his albums come out. He's all over the charts. Anyway, wonderful person, wonderful guy. Very spiritual, cares about people. He's just a great guy. So I wanted to do a song from that experience of being with Norm. So this is an old Janet Jackson song that Norman did. And now we're going to do basically the Norman Brown version of this Janet Jackson song. And this is also one of my favorite songs to play. I like this a lot. Thank you. That's the way love goes, which leads me to the next song I'm going to do is called "Nothing on the Day." So I almost feel guilty saying this, but this is my favorite song.
At the moment.
It actually is. It's tied with a couple, but this is it. And so this was my wife, our song that we danced to at our wedding was an Al Green song. So I loved Al Green, and when I met her, she loved John Bon Jovi. So we were like really far apart from each other. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do John Bon Jovi. So over time, she became an Al Green fan because I made her watch Al Green. I'm like, Al Green's on David Letterman tonight. You got to watch Al Green. And then Al Green's on Johnny Carter. Al Green's whatever. So she loves Al Green now. Loves Al Green. So I wanted to write a song in the style and the feel of Al Green, just like a happy, upbeat song. So when I wrote it, I didn't have a name for it. So I called my son. You guys know Devin. And I asked him. I said, "Hey, I'm going to play you something. Could you name it?" And I said, what do you hear when you hear it? Because I can't call it like the Al Green song. So I said, what do you hear? And he said, it sounds like you have like nothing scheduled on the day, like nothing scheduled at all. Just your day's free, do whatever you want. So this song is called Nothing on the Day. So that was Nothing on the Day. And the next song we're going to do has a really good story to it. I'm sorry if you have to listen to me talk. I apologize. I don't even want to hear me talk. So this song is called Along the Waves. It was nothing deep. It was written on the beach along the waves. So what else are you going to call it? So this is called Along the Waves, but we did it on Good Morning Cincinnati years ago when it first came out, and it was Sheila Gray, and I forgot. Anyway, they interviewed us, and then talked us up, the song, the album, all that, tried to help, and then we played this song. And when we played it, when we were done, I was leaving the studios, and then my phone's going crazy. And I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. People saw us, and obviously they liked us. Why would everybody be texting me? So my phone's going nuts, and I looked down on my phone, and it said, my wife first, she said, I couldn't hear you. So I know, because I play guitar, she wants to hear guitar, but I'm like, that's okay. I'm just one person in the band. There's other people listen to. And then my son, couldn't hear you. And then my other son, hey, the interview was cool, couldn't hear you. And then my sister, like, oh, it was a nice interview. They talked to you a long time, couldn't hear you. And then like my neighbor, and then like all the people, I used to coach JV softball. So all the high school girls are like texting me, hey, coach, couldn't hear you. So I'm like, geez, critics. So that's all I know. Like, I'm not making this up. That's exactly how it went. Not nobody said anything other than that. So I go home and I'm excited. So I put it on, and then this is what we sounded like. Ready? That's exactly. You couldn't hear us at all. There was no sound. No sound. So it was like a 3-minute song, and we're, walking around, and there's no sound. Not like it's soft. There's no sound. So so I'm like, oh my gosh. So this song, I want to play it with the volume on and see what it sounds like. We've never heard it either, so here we go. Okay, we have one more song, I was told. This was a request from someone earlier. I don't even know if they're here now, but this was a request. It's not on our sheet, but we like doing whatever anybody asks for. So you can sing along with this if you'd like. Thank you very, very much. I want to play more. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, we'll do one if we're allowed. Okay, we're gonna do one last song. It's a crazy song. This is a crazy song. It's called "Can't Get There Fast Enough." So I threw a curveball at you. They're looking for the music right now. Does anybody remember or ever listen to Kenny Rankin in the early 70s, mid 70s, whatever? So anyway, this doesn't sound like Kenny Rankin, but it's the in the spirit or theme of a particular Kenny Rankin song. So this is called "Can't Get There Fast Enough." By the way, Mike is coming from surgery, so one of his arms doesn't work that, and one of his legs not that crazy either. So for him to play this song, and you'll see why in a second. There's a lot of drums going on at the end of the song, and he's going to do this with recently surgically repaired arm. Yeah, so he's in a lot of pain when we're done with this, but he's smiling, so we're going to do it.